Hi everyone, it's Roger here from what's on DisneyPlus.com. A quick news update for you guys on the Hulu brand starting to be used internationally. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So over the last few years, I have been talking a lot about the future of Hulu and where it sits within Disney, because it's kind of a bit of a weird situation. Because up until before 2019, Disney owned 30% of Hulu, along with 30% with Comcast, 30% with 20th Century Fox, and 10% with AOL Time Warner. When Disney purchased 20th Century Fox, it acquired that additional 30%, making it a majority holder with 60%. A deal was quickly made with AOL Time Warner, so they got out, and that was split them so that Comcast owned a third and Disney owned 2/3, with Hulu then being run by Disney, with an agreement being put in place that in 2024, Disney would be able to force Comcast to sell them their stake. Then last year, Comcast then obviously activated its right to then get Disney to buy out. And the valuation back in 2019 put Hulu at around about $27 billion, though it could be more. And so what's been happening is Comcast was waiting until there was a final valuation in order to work out what it owed. And Disney paid the sort of the $8 billion that it was due, but we've been waiting for it to be working out. And with that, we've just seen Hulu kind of limping along in the United States because, we're just waiting to see what was happening, where it was going. They couldn't make any big moves. They worked out that they could do Hulu on Disney Plus because they were still technically two separate entities and therefore wouldn't do anything. One of the big problems about Hulu was the fact that originally they were planning on taking it international. However, Disney changed its minds and didn't do so. Instead, they launched the Star Hub on Disney Plus around the world, which is a general entertainment hub, which includes all the big shows like the Kardashians, Shogun, that kind of stuff, all the kind of big Hulu originals and content from 20th Century, FX, etc. The Star brand was actually also purchased with 20th Century Fox because it was part of Hotstar. This is where things get a little bit more complicated because Disney has also been changing what it's doing in India. It ended up selling its Star India business to Reliance, and they're now in a partnership over Disney Plus Hotstar, which was rebranded to Gilo Hotstar. And as such, I've been saying for a while that I expected the Star Hub to be kind of rebranded to Hulu once both deals were completed. And it's been taking a long time. I've said, it's felt like sort of Disney Plus has been on cruise control, just on hold until all of this got sorted. Well, the situation in India has been sorted. And it looks now like the situation with Hulu has been sorted with Comcast, because for the first time this week, we saw a new poster and trailer for an upcoming series called All's Fair, which is a new legal drama from Ryan Murphy starring Kim Kardashian. We got to see a trailer and a poster, but on the Canadian version, it actually said it was a Hulu original, and it said Hulu original on Disney Plus. This is the first time we've seen anything like this. We've seen like little mistakes here and there where the Hulu logo would appear on posters and trailers, but it would quickly be removed. Even at one point on Disney Plus Hotstar in India, there was even a Hulu hub for like a couple of days, and that quickly got whipped off. But over time, I have thought that the Star Hub would eventually be replaced with Hulu, and I think this is the start. This is now meaning I think that the deal with Comcast is done, because Disney never wanted to launch Hulu internationally, because if it did, it would then push up the value and they would have to pay Comcast even more money. So they've been kind of artificially trying to keep Hulu down a little bit. And there's obviously been legal issues with that, with Comcast kind of trying to deal with it. But I think this looks like it's over with this news that they're promoting Hulu on Disney Plus in Canada. At the minute, it said it's just in Canada. They've not started doing this internationally. They might just do it first off in Canada, where it makes a little bit more sense because the US market is more used to Hulu. Internationally, the Hulu brand doesn't really mean anything. Only really die-hard Disney fans are going to know that it's there. As I said, everyone knows it as Star. But I've always said, since before it even launched, that Star was a terrible name for a hub because it meant nothing. It's generic. It has no connection. If you go out there and you just say the word Star, it could mean anything. It doesn't necessarily connect with Disney. Hulu is at least an original name that kind of, you say that and people are going to be able to recognize what that is because it's unique to this particular platform. Now, I don't think Hulu's going to launch internationally. As I said, just going to change that hub. And this is the start. I think we're going to start seeing more of this. The Hulu brand being used internationally. They'll do it slowly. Disney like to do these kind of things of creeping it in. So, you don't really notice so much. Bob Iger recently said during a quarterly investors call that in the coming months, we're going to see some more integration. And I think this is the start of it. And I've always said that I feel like Disney Plus and Hulu in the United States will eventually merge to become one platform. And at the same time, it would make a lot of sense to get Hulu rebranded around the world so Disney Plus looks the same everywhere. They can have the same marketing. They can use the same posters. At the minute, they're having to keep changing things, doing different things with branding. But if you have the term Hulu Original on Disney Plus globally, that works. It also helps with situations like we recently saw, for example, with FX Dying for Sex, which got a lot of publicity because people going, what's that doing on Disney Plus? Even though it's been there, this kind of stuff's been there internationally for years. This kind of thing with using that Hulu brand will help with all of that kind of stuff, all this malarkey. But yeah, big news. This is, like I said, this is not a mistake. They've put out this, they put it out on all the social media, so it was included in the press release, etc. So it was a Hulu original. First time they've really done this. I think this is a big step forward. Look to see more of this in the future. And as I said, I would be not at all surprised if things start rapidly changing and we see more streamlined Disney with Hulu as one of its core hubs globally before the end of the year. But let me know your thoughts on this. Go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. And I shall see you guys soon. Laters.